Hello guys, my name is David and welcome to my new series called Loving the Crew. Now, as you can guess by the name, this series is related towards Crewe Alexandra, who are in League 2, and this is my race to the Premier League, where I will be playing the game on legendary difficulty and trying to get them to the Premier League. Now, the catch with the series is that, as you can probably see on the screen, I am setting all of my scouts out to basically try and find the best youth players, and the challenge is that I will not be buying any players whatsoever. So it's quite a unique series, and it's something that I tend to do quite a lot of the time. So this is effectively what I'm working with on the screen. You can see that there's a lot of 60 rated players, and yeah, hopefully by the end of the series, when I'm in the Premier League, there may be one player still left, but I doubt we'll have anyone still in the from the starting 11 and even on the bench that'll be making it the whole way through to the Premier League with us. But yeah, but it's an interesting concept. It's something that I've done on previous FIFAs, but now I've decided to stream and then upload the videos to YouTube, the highlights. So if you want to check me out on Twitch, my username is DEC90, and yeah, you can find me there doing this challenge. So we get kicked off really with the pre-season games, and really I just wanted this first game to be more of a feeler as to how does this team feel, and how are we how am I going to fare, pretty much, because it is quite daunting when you see effectively what what I've got to work with. But you can see here I'm pretty much being dominated by this other team. I can't pronounce their name and I don't know what league they're in, but you can see here, they are causing problems and they score right there to make it 1-0. So not the best of starts, and I think at this point I was definitely thinking, wow, I am in serious trouble. So conceding early on as well. It's not even like I survived for too long. That goal literally come in the first 20 minutes. So yeah, I was definitely thinking to myself, I'm in deep trouble here with this series. And as you can see, it is literally a constant flow of attacking play from them. Here you can see they score again, and that drops me down 2-0. Don't worry, slight spoiler, the series isn't it's not this bad. So okay, I can tell you that it does get better from here on outwards. So yeah, but as you can see, pre-season, as you expect, when you're not used to players, when you're not used to knowing who you're using or what skills your players use or are good at, then you're going to have problems. But as you can see here, we have Porter, who ends up being quite a big player for us during definitely League 2, who hits the post there, and then you've got Powell, who's running in now, who's quite a quick winger, and he lays that off, and yeah, just can't get anything going. But we lose that pre-season game 2-0, and I think he just got to the point where I said, you know what, let me just sim the pre-season games. Let's just get to the real thing and see what we can do. Lose that game 2-1 in the pre-season, and then we move on to the final game of that pre-season. Now during this challenge, obviously, as you can imagine, through pre-season, I was trying to play with this team, and I was thinking, right, I'm hoping this goes well, especially live streaming it as well. You don't want to be that guy who effectively loses their games and doesn't do anything correctly. So you can see here, this is a big turning point for us, because we managed to send our scout out to get a future world prospect or superstar prospect, and the name is Leonardo Castro. That's a very important name, so make sure you remember it. And what we're going to try and do is implement Castro straight from the off, because Porter, when using him in that first game, wasn't necessarily the greatest player. So you would see with Porter, he's very slow and very lethargic. And here, this is my only route to actually buying players and getting people. So you'll see here that I am just looking at people's potentials. I'm looking at, right, who could be a good player, or who could be good players for not just now, but also for the future as well. So you see me trying to look at players here, and potentials are like 80s, 83, 84s. I'm not going to bother with, but you see there's a couple of 90 rated potentials there, and I'm going to draft them in. Now the key is over time. Obviously, you'll see players' potentials will kind of closen in terms of that gap. So if a player has a potential of, let's say, 60 to 93, that gap will get closer, and you realise what their actual potential is. So the best way, and they'll give you reports monthly. The game will based upon that. So that's quite key, because you'll see certain youth players that I will try and include into the starting 11 as quickly as possible, and try and get them playing first team action, just so then their overalls can go up. I presume with the game mechanics that the more games youth players play, the better they get, and the more they improve. So it's quite a big step for a lot of these youth players, because a lot of them tend to be rated below 60, which some of them won't be able to get into my starting lineup. But you'll see here the players that we've managed to acquire. Like I said, I'm not buying any players. That all of these players have come from the youth, and this is the only way that I'm going to be able to actually get players. So yeah, quite a tough challenge, and you'll see in due course how a lot of these players will turn out in the future, and who turns out to be big players for us. But you know, we're gonna sign a couple of these players, and yeah, really try and embed them as quickly as possible. The one interesting factor of Crewe Alexandra as a team is that in real life they've actually gone up. So they actually got automatic promotion by coming third, I believe, in League Two. So I really wanted to hit the actual what the club in real life have done, and at least, you know, get promoted from League Two to League One from the first time around. So yeah, and we are just going through this press conference now, and our first game's against Plymouth. Now, I think what I remember from Plymouth is that they're quite a good side, and they're going to cause problems. I mean, I know that they've been kind of yo-yoing down up into League Two, League One, League Two. So, you know, I was unaware if they just got relegated, or whether this is the League Two, or if they've been in League Two for a while. But you know, it's pretty nerve-wracking when you think about how my first pre-season game went, and losing 2-0. So, you know, we're just trying to, with these media sessions, by the way, they are all about trying to get the morale up for your team. So really, you have to try and give the most politically correct answer for your players and your team to get morale. So yeah, you can see them answer me about you know, a player in my centre mid called Larry, who he becomes a very key figure for me. I can tell you that as a slight spoiler for the series ahead. But he's but yeah, it's all about trying to get these players in a positive mindset in these media sessions, so then their morale goes up. And when the morale goes up, you'll find that a lot of these players' overalls will also slightly go up. So the key during these career modes is to make sure that I answer the questions, you know, to the best possible standard that I can, and then hopefully their overalls will go up shortly for this game. But here we go, our first league game, and you can see here that we are already under pressure, and Plymouth go very close early in the game. Now we come forward, and it looks like we've gone towards the right, block shot there, and we take another shot, and it goes in. 1-0 to the Crewe, and it's a left foot shot. And who is it from? It is that man that we was talking about in the press conference, Larry. But it's a lovely finesse goal. We try and get a shot off with the right, defender blocks it, and then just curl that ball into the right corner of the left foot. So I presume that's his wrong foot. Now defending again on the back foot, and Plymouth are coming forward, and just try a pot shot there. It doesn't work out. As you'll find with career mode, defensively, you know, their teams are pretty good, and going forward, sometimes they can almost like score when they want, and you'll just really find that they can almost score when they want, whereas you have to almost really try hard and create opportunities, as you're seeing here. So we are actually having quite a lot of joy in this game, and you'll see Castro there, and Powell, who's our very, very quick winger, and Lowry trying to get a shot off, but again trying to replicate what he done earlier, but it's just not going to work. Now Plymouth come forward, and we managed to intercept them, but a free kick is given. Now, if you know anything about FIFA and CPU, free kicks are crucial for them, and they just tend to fly in. And we're going to see here that this may be one of the worst examples of that, and the free kick goes nowhere. And we go in at the break in the lead, so this is a very, very encouraging signs, because you will, like I said, from that first pre-season game that I played, lost 2-0, I was thinking, right, I hope that I can bounce back and when it comes to the league, actually start winning games. But you'll see Crewe here defending, and Plymouth coming forward, and like I said, just into the second half, literally as soon as we start, they score. So yeah, it's 1-1 straight away. They come out the blocks firing and manage to score within the first kind of couple of minutes of that of the second half. And even again there, my keeper comes out, who's actually the son of Jussi Jääskeläinen, and he comes out and the ball just trickles wide. So you will see, yeah, it's very, very fortunate enough there. But we're trying to make openings again. We're trying as you know, the best as we can to create space, passing and moving, and also trying to get shots off as well. So you'll see here, you know, we try and work an opening, doesn't work out, and now Plymouth have the ball back and are playing it around their back line and trying to push forward. I think one of the biggest things that we learn from that I learned from playing the computer is that defensively you have to be sound, because and you have to try and work openings. The CPU is always going to, you know, have their opportunities, and you just really need to learn how do you combat that. As you see, we're going through here, and Castro misses. Now this is supposed to be our golden boy, and he's there missing opportunities like that on his left foot. Yeah, we work another opening there and try and we get blocked off, but again, very smart play, and this time Castro puts it into the net. 2-1 to Crewe. We're loving the Crewe, and we're and hopefully going to pick up the 3 points here. 72nd minute, and you can see the cheeky celebration towards the home fans. But it's, you know, like I said, you have to work openings. It's a very clever pass there onto Castro for his first goal of the season. And now Plymouth try and work forward and try and come forward and try and work to get that equaliser, but their shots are blazing over the bar. Now in injury time, the last opportunity that they have to go forward, you know, we are sweating, we're trying to stop this. They play a through ball and they score and equalise. So all of that hard work trying to move forward, and the amount of opportunities that we had in the first half has just been undone by a last minute equaliser. And you'll see how last minute it is, literally trying to run forward, and that is it, game over. And we pick up a point which should have been 3. And at this point, I'm a bit sick to my stomach, because I wanted to get off to the best possible start, but instead we managed to get a draw. And in FIFA career mode, they have post-game press conferences which show you the team's morale, and like I said, you have to give very politically correct answers in order for the morale to go up and for your players to almost play better. If you don't give the right answers, sometimes the morale can go down as well. But yeah, not the start that we wanted, and you know, not the start to the series that we wanted. Effectively starting it on a loss and a draw. So things really need to pick up in the next episode, otherwise, you know, we could be in grave danger here. And my plan was to try and get promoted with the first, you know, in the first time of asking. So it's, yeah, this is gonna be more difficult than I thought. I think I went into this series thinking, right, you know, it's gonna be a piece of cake, but in fact, it was quite the opposite. But I really hope you guys enjoyed this. So please feel free to like, subscribe, and also and yeah, please post comments, give me some feedback in terms of what I could do better, and feel free to check out my Twitch as well. But that is all from me, and yeah, thanks very much, and we'll see you soon. Bye bye.